For centuries, scientists have traced the journey of human evolution. From ape-like ancestors to modern-day Homo sapiens, fossils tell us part of the story, but not the whole story. Hidden in our DNA lies evidence of a mysterious species, an ancient ancestor we have never discovered, a true missing link. Why are there gaps in the fossil record? How did humans suddenly develop larger brains, advanced tools and culture in such a short time? Join us as we explore the most compelling theories on the missing link. From the discovery of ancient DNA to controversial claims of extraterrestrial intervention, we'll uncover the truth behind the gaps in our evolutionary history and separate fact from fiction. Brace yourself for an eye-opening journey into the unknown. You won't believe what scientists are afraid to admit. Welcome to the channel. Humans have always been fascinated by one question: who are we, and where did we come from? For centuries, scientists have worked tirelessly to piece together the puzzle of human evolution, studying fossils and comparing DNA to trace our lineage back to our earliest ancestors. But despite all their efforts, there are still many gaps in our understanding of how humans evolved. The fossil record is incomplete, with entire species missing from the fossil record. According to the fossil record, the earliest known members of the genus Homo habilis, lived in Africa around 2.4 million years ago. They were small, no taller than 4 feet, and had brains that were only slightly larger than a chimpanzee's. However, around 600,000 years later, they disappeared from the fossil record, only to reappear again in Africa around 1.6 million years ago. This sudden disappearance raises questions about what happened to them and how they re-emerged so quickly. To understand this mystery, it helps to first understand how fossils form in the first place. Fossilization is a rare event that occurs when an organism dies and is quickly buried in sediment like volcanic ash or mud. Over time, the body is replaced by minerals and turned into stone, preserving the shape of the original organism. This process allows us to find well-preserved fossils of dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures. But it doesn't happen to every creature that dies. Most bodies are simply decomposed by scavengers or eroded by wind and rain. So the fossil record is inherently incomplete. It's as possible that Homo habilis fossils from between 1.8 and 2.4 million years ago simply haven't been found yet. The areas where they lived may have been covered by water or eroded away, making it difficult to locate any remaining fossils. Additionally, the fossilization process is random and unpredictable. It's as possible that none of the Homo habilis individuals who died during that time were preserved in a way that allowed their fossils to survive until today. But there's another possibility. What if there's a gap in the fossil record caused by something else entirely? As scientists continued to study fossils and trace our evolutionary history, they began to notice other gaps in the fossil record. In particular, there seems to be a missing link between Australopithecus afarensis and early Homo species such as Homo habilis. Australopithecines were a diverse group of primates who lived in Africa between 4 and 2 million years ago. They were bipedal apes with small brains and primitive stone tools. Early Homo species, on the other hand, had larger brains and more sophisticated tools. But the fossil record shows a sudden jump from the more primitive Australopithecines to the more advanced Homo species. This gap in the fossil record has led to speculation that there is a missing link, an unknown species that serves as the link between Australopithecines and early Homo species. Some researchers believe that this missing link may have been Homo habilis, as its brain size falls somewhere in between that of Australopithecines and later Homo species. However, others argue that Homo habilis was actually more closely related to early Homo species, and that there is still a gap in the fossil record before it. This missing link may have been a species that had a larger brain and more advanced tool-making abilities, but we simply haven't discovered its fossils yet. It's possible that these fossils are hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered in an area that has not yet been explored. Or they may have been lost to erosion, or destroyed by natural disasters, leaving us with only a partial picture of our evolutionary past. But there is another explanation for this gap in the fossil record. Some researchers believe that our DNA contains evidence of a forgotten species, one that left its mark on our genetic makeup, but whose physical remains have yet to be found. If this is true, then the answer to the missing link may lie not in the physical evidence left behind, but in the very essence of what makes us human, our genes. As technology advances, new discoveries are made, and old theories are challenged. Some researchers are now using ancient DNA to piece together the puzzle of human evolution. By studying the DNA of Neanderthals, Denisovans, and other ancient hominins, scientists have gained a deeper understanding of how our species diverged and interbred with other ancient populations. One surprising discovery is that modern humans interbred with Neanderthals and Denisovans, two extinct species of archaic humans. This suggests that the distinction between different hominin species was not always clear-cut, and that gene flow occurred more frequently than previously thought. In fact, most people of European and Asian descent carry a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA in their genome, while those of African descent do not. This is because Neanderthals and Denisovans split off from the human lineage. Before our ancestors migrated out of Africa, the interbreeding that occurred after modern humans migrated out of Africa resulted in the transfer of some Neanderthal and Denisovan genes into the human population. Studying these ancient genes can provide insights into the traits and adaptations that helped our ancestors survive in different environments. For example, Neanderthals had a gene called EPase, one that helped them adapt to the cold climate of Europe. This gene may have given them the ability to regulate their body temperature more efficiently and produce more red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout the body. Some researchers believe that the acquisition of these advantageous genes through interbreeding may have played a role in the success of modern humans. Overall, the study of ancient DNA has revolutionized our understanding of human evolution. By analyzing the genomes of ancient hominins, scientists have been able to trace the origins of modern humans, study the genetic basis of human diseases, and gain insights into the adaptations that helped our ancestors survive in different environments. The discovery of interbreeding between modern humans and Neanderthals and Denisovans has shown that the story of human evolution is more complex than we once thought. And as technology advances, we can expect to learn even more about our ancient relatives and the events that shaped our species. But what if the missing link is not a species at all? Some researchers argue that the gaps in the fossil record are not evidence of missing species, but rather missing traits. According to this theory, the traits that define our species, such as a large brain and the ability to use language and create complex tools, did not evolve gradually over time. Instead, they appeared suddenly in our ancestors as a result of a single major event. This could have been caused by a mutation in a single gene or a series of linked genes that triggered a cascade of developmental changes. Alternatively, the traits could have been acquired through horizontal gene transfer from another species. This theory is supported by the fact that there are no transitional fossils between Australopithecus afarensis and early Homo species. If there was a missing species, we should expect to find fossils of a species that is more closely related to Homo species than Australopithecus afarensis, but not as closely related as Homo species. However, we have not found any such fossils. Furthermore, the fossil record shows that the transition from Australopithecus afarensis to early Homo species occurred over a relatively short period of time. If there was a missing species, we would expect a transition to have taken longer. However, it appears that our ancestors underwent a sudden and dramatic change in morphology, behavior, and ecology, transitioning from a more primitive to a more advanced state. Some researchers speculate that this change may have been caused by a mutation in a single gene or a small group of genes that affected brain development. Others suggest that it may have resulted from the acquisition of new genes through horizontal gene transfer. This controversial theory proposes that genes from bacteria, viruses, fungi, or other single-cell organisms were transferred to our ancestors and played a role in the evolution of complex traits. Regardless of the mechanism, it's clear that there was a significant event in our evolutionary history that gave rise to the traits that define our species. But what if the missing link is not a species or a trait at all? What if it's a moment in time, a single instant when everything changed? Some researchers believe that the gaps in the fossil record are not due to missing species or traits, but rather to missing time. According to this theory, our ancestors experienced a sudden and dramatic change in their genetic makeup as a result of a catastrophic event, such as an asteroid impact, volcanic eruption, or exposure to high levels of radiation. This event caused a mutation in a large number of genes simultaneously, leading to the rapid evolution of our species. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that the transition from Australopithecus afarensis to early Homo species occurred over a geologically short period of time, estimated to be between 100,000 and 2 million years. Such a rapid change is not easily explained by gradual evolutionary processes. However, evidence for this theory is largely circumstantial, and there is no consensus among researchers. Furthermore, It's unclear how a catastrophic event could specifically target genes responsible for human traits without affecting other parts of the genome. While the idea of a catastrophic event causing rapid evolution is popular in science fiction, it's generally not considered to be a viable explanation for the origin of our species. However, there is another explanation for the gaps in the fossil record that may be even more controversial. What if the missing link is not a species, trait, or moment in time, but a visitor from another world? Some researchers speculate that the evolution of Homo sapiens may have been influenced by extraterrestrial visitors who intervened in our development. Proponents of this theory point to the sudden appearance of humans with larger brains and more advanced capabilities as evidence of an external influence. They argue that the gaps in the fossil record can be explained by the destruction of evidence by extraterrestrial forces. However, this theory is widely considered to be fringe science, and there is no credible evidence to support it. The idea of extraterrestrial intervention in human evolution is often associated with conspiracy theories, and is not taken seriously by the scientific community. So what is the truth? Is there a missing link in our evolutionary history? Or are there gaps in the fossil record simply because we haven't found the fossils yet? Did ancient hominins interbreed and leave their genetic mark on us? Or did a sudden catastrophic event cause our rapid evolution? Or could it be that our evolution was guided by visitors from another world? The truth may never be known for sure, but one thing is clear: the mystery of the missing link continues to captivate scientists and the public alike. As new discoveries are made and old theories are challenged, we may never know all the secrets of our own evolution. What do you believe? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.